Hey, look at this. We are back in the saddle together, brother.
The
Huh?
boys are back in town, right?
I know. I know. The boys are back in town. That should become our new theme song, but we might have to. I don't know if we can afford to pay the royalties on that one.
I don't think we can. And by the way, guys, I'm sorry. I still have my snaggle tooth from last week's explanation, but it'll be getting fixed for next week.
Sorry. I don't know. I'm kind of growing to like the look of that in your white face. I don't even. I kind of like it. So, but anyways, you know what? We are just back to building wins, buddy, as we've done for for over 4 years now.
Yeah.
4 years
And
we've
it
been
feels
doing this
great.
crazy thing. It does feel great, and you know, somebody asked me the other day. They said, you know, you really seem to love doing this, and would you ever stop? And I says, well, not really. I mean, we talked about this earlier on another segment together. I'm no retiring is not in my mantra because I love what I do and do what I love. That's not just a statement or a slogan that I make. I mean, I do, but I mean it. But we love what we do, and this bringing wins every week, and that's the beautiful part of building wins, right? Is we get to have guests like we have with Tony today that just brings another aspect to the world of winning. And if you look at everything as building wins, and sometimes you build wins out of losses, sometimes you you build through struggles. And in Tony's case, I mean, he's a well-known author, bestseller, and I mean, I got his book here. That's just I've been reading some of it, and just an amazing individual. And you know, that's why we do this, right?
Yeah, and he's so amazing. I think we should probably bring him on.
We could, or we could sit here and wait for you to put Just for Men in your little beard thing there.
Right.
But we don't have that time. I mean, we'll run out of bandwidth. That'll be forever. So let's just go get Tony. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do it. All right,
right.
Let's go. Boom. Look at that thing, huh?
Hello, sir.
How you doing, my friend?
Awesome. Hey, thank you for the invite, man. I got to reciprocate. I got your book too. So this is
look at that. Look at that. You know, oh man, hey, we can do it together. We'll wave them together. We don't even talk. We'll just sit here and wave books for a while.
You gotta remember the audience though.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good stuff. Well, I appreciate yours. I've been starting to read it. I got 5 or 6 books in the last week and a half from people. I do like to read, but I get myself. I try to practice what I preach in some things, which is planning for like a big trade show coming up. By the time we drop this, I'll have just been done with it. But a lot of events going on there, so I tend to have to try to do what I'm supposed to be doing now and then, not just talk to people on here and read books and write articles. But you know, but hey, welcome. So for anybody that's like just absolutely insanely out of the times, who is Tony? Tell us who Tony is.
You know, I don't think I've ever been asked that. So the kind of informal introduction is I've been doing a thing called mind capture now for 21 years full time, where I teach this strategy of how do you stand out and get attention in an era where no one's paying attention. I didn't know Randy. We're going to talk about the new book, but book number 1, 23 years ago when I wrote it, was called Mind Capture. And many people in the industry said, look, you're onto something. The attention problem is real. My background was in telecom sales, door-to-door, recruiting teams, and advertising sales. So I was into highly competitive industries where people either didn't want to talk to me or they needed what I had, but they still didn't want to talk to me. So getting good at marketing and selling door-to-door in my 20s was essential. And now fast forward to this interview in the book that you got recently, it's still amazing to go, wow, the attention problem is real. And it's gotten more interesting now where it's 8-second attention span. That's based on the latest Microsoft research last year. Humans in North America have about an 8-second attention span. That is less than a goldfish. And you add in TikTok, stories, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, it's getting, I believe, even shorter. So the war of attention is what I built my career on. Wrote many, many books out of the 10 on the first 3 or 4 about how do you get referrals, marketing, how do you build sales, repeat business, which is, to me, my passion. Last several books, and when we're going to hit on the new one, have been more about the mindset. What are you going to do to stay sold in the mind first before you go into the field? My mentor, Les Brown, who I mentioned in the book as well, amongst many mentors, is like, if you don't win the inner battle of sales, you'll never make the movement on the battle chessboard because you won't feel like doing it. You'll self-sabotage. You won't make the calls, et cetera, et cetera. So this book, as we'll talk about, to me, is really a culmination of the last 3 years. It took forever to write, in my opinion, 3 years. It's like a memoir. Looking backward, what did I learn the last 20 years self-employed without a paycheck where you have to earn it? And the challenges. There's a lot of dirt in this book, per se. I don't mean that negative. It's called wisdom. It's called setbacks. How do you get down, knock down 7, get up 8? So that's kind of a quick introduction to set the stage.
That's awesome. Yeah, the one and only Les Brown. Wes, our producer, director, buddy, brother, pal. I used to say occasional food stealer, but I'm not. We haven't dined since that time. But he's a quesadilla stealer, just so you know. I really dislike that about Wes, but that's okay. I just don't. The only thing I learned with that is I don't share my Dr. Pepper, which is my code word for Cabernet. That I don't share. If there's 3 drops left, I'm not offering. I'm not that nice a guy. But
priorities, man, priorities.
Priorities, buddy. Yeah, quesadilla. You can have my last glass of red wine. Nah, no, we're not that good of friends. Nobody is. But no, I love that. But Wes met Les once on an elevator together. I remember he loved that story. He talked about meeting him on an elevator at an event. But great guy and a great teacher and so many great things. And what I love about what you said is I love the title, Don't Quit, because you talked about mindset, and in the world of sales, I'm a lifer in this goofy business. I finally have admitted to something. I did it on a podcast that I was guest on a while back. I finally admitted a lie I was living, because I always use 4+ decades, which is accurate-ish. But it's technically 50 because I'm old. I just turned really old this week. So I'm no longer in my 50s or 60s. Wow. Anyway, I don't know how that happened.
Well, congrats, you made it, Randy.
I did make it. So, but my point of all that is over the period of times, I've really learned nothing. If I learned nothing else in the world of sales, it's all about mindset, right? And where I wrote down, you said self-sabotaging. Oh my God, I see so many guys. I've done it myself, in my younger years. And then I want you to take over, because I love that subject, but this guy's never going to buy. I don't even know why I'm going to go here. He's not going to buy my stuff. And look at his place. He's never going to be able to afford this because I said sell higher end stuff. Whatever. I've already talked myself out of the sale, so I'm going to talk myself out of the sale in front of him subconsciously, right? Because I don't believe anything I'm talking about. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, words and thoughts do have a lot of power. And a lot of times the self-sabotage, even the veterans get this. So there might be a senior vice president or CEO watching this interview because you have a big audience that says, yeah, we sometimes go through that. And maybe we get too comfortable. We hit a slump. And all sales pros will hit a slump at some point. Mm-hmm. It could be market conditions. It could be the lack of confidence, changing economics. They lose a couple deals and they start to think, I'm not any good. They don't realize all the past wins they've had. So especially where the world is right now, look around you. It is nuts out there. Mm-hmm. I would tell people the best thing you can do, not to be naive or hide in a cave, is not watch so much darn news.
Exactly.
Social media is very addictive. You and I use it a lot to market, and it's highly addictive. And I'm a former addict. I talk about that in the book, but we have to watch what we're putting in, the programming into our head. Is it being programmed without consent, or are we programming directly what we want to hear? That could be good podcasts such as yours, Les Brown motivational, educational videos on TikTok, YouTube. But you have a choice each day. What are you going to put in to the brain? Is it going to be garbage, drama, gossip, or is it positivity? Is it success? Is it an optimistic saying, hey, this is a brand new day. Whatever happened yesterday, I have a fresh set of downs. As they say in football, every morning's 1st and 10. You get a brand new ball game, a brand new running clock. And the key thing is having a short memory. So if you're in a slump right now, you might go, man, this is hitting me, because we all go through it. Is what can you do to override? I have several chapters in the book, one on pattern interrupts. That is, I look at 10 pattern interrupts that I use the last 10 years effectively, particularly as a former gambler, to get out of my head when I'm ruminating, when I have head trash or negative thoughts. Big revelation. I have negative thoughts too, Randy.
Yeah. Tell me you don't.
Oh, yeah. People don't me on stage or a podcast. He's always happy. No, I'm not. Life will hit you. Before we went on studio today, I shared something with you and Wes that I'm going through, but the show goes on, and we never know the impact you're having with your podcast. That when I share it to my audience, they're going to go, well, "Who's Randy?" And wow, something you said or I said prompts them to get out of a slump. Yep. And again, to me, I can only inspire and get people to question the current paradigm. I can't motivate anybody. And I don't get all hung up like some speakers, you're motivational. Whatever gets the job done to force someone to think, and hopefully they make the change on their own, then I've done the job. And again, anyone listening right now, if you're in the car, the treadmill, you're on your computer, your laptop, whatever, is I want you to think, what are 2 or 3 nuggets I can get out of this time with Randy and Tony that makes it worth me investing the time in this podcast? So yeah, the listener's selfish, and I have to deliver bit-sized nuggets because of time shifting, the attention span problem. Someone goes, wow, that was really good, I need to rewind that. Or they see a snippet of the interview later on after we record this, and they go, I'm interested in what they were saying. Then they go to the full interview and they stay with us. Because again, the attention problem is real. And I thank everybody live and in these podcasts. The gift of your time and attention, I do not take it lightly. Thank you for joining us.
Right. So well said. And you're right. I think Ben, a mutual friend, because Ben Gay the third, just a great friend of Wes and I's, and we've been blessed to meet with he and his lovely wife Gigi, who I think Ben would agree that he definitely outkicked his coverage there. So that's for you, Ben. Anyway, there we are. There you are, out in Sacramento, California, West Sac, to be brutally honest. I remember, he had made a statement to me one time, and kind of to piggyback on what you just said. I said, there's a series of few posts and stuff that I was doing that it was like I thought they were good, but there wasn't that many people liking or commenting. There's a fair amount of views, but nobody's. And he goes, I want to think I get this right, but 100 to 1,000. I said, what are you talking about? And he says, really what I'm talking about. Think about it. And basically, for every person that will go ahead and like or comment, you're influencing 100 or 1,000 other people for every one. They just won't do anything, right? They just want click because they're afraid. Oh my God, Randy might find me through the algorithm somewhere and follow me somehow. And I don't want to do all that, right? But you're still having an influence. So I think that's an important thing to remember is we get wrapped up in, and you and I do a lot of social media stuff. I'm not saying I don't look at views. It's important you look at algorithms a little bit. I mean, only because I use that title in my books, and now I've learned to say it, so now I like to look at them. But I think it's like you said, it's another day. You liked it, you don't like it. That was good or wasn't good. People liked it, they didn't. You know what? I'm going to do 10 more today. So whatever. And I think you got to take that mindset as you move forward. And I really love that conversation. Isn't it amazing? I made a note. I tell people I make notes because I don't do crossword puzzles. That's in case you wondered. That ages me. Probably nobody knows what a crossword puzzle is. But anyway, the 8-second rule. Wow, isn't that amazing? Because I agree with you. I find myself, if I get in the evening, I've been doing some just for fun stuff, some TikTok music things in the evening. I'll go on and do a couple of some 70s song that I like, what I was thinking at the time, what I was doing at the time, whatever. I do it more for just shits and giggles, if you will, than anything else.
Sure, it's fun.
But I find as I'm on TikTok or YouTube, even if there's a subject that I'm pretty interested in, and as an older guy that actually read books and stuff in my past and still do. I know that's an odd thing for some.
Thank you for that, Randy.
You're welcome. But the funny thing is, at about 7 or 8 seconds in, you're right. As this old guy that used to read books and still does, it's like, okay, I'm done already because I wanted to hear what you had to say, but you've already lost me at that 6, 7, 8, 9 second range. So, and I'm not your typical probably TikTok, YouTube Reels guy because I'm a little bit older. So when we do things that we all do, if you want to live in the virtual world and visibility equals opportunity, right? If we're going to live there, if we don't capture that immediately, they're going to be gone, regardless of how brilliant it may be.
Yes,
they're going to be gone. Is that? And I suppose you spoke to that. So let's dive into that a little bit. What's happened to our mindset with that? And are we going back? Is it good? Is it bad?
The best thing I can tell you is I don't know yet. I really don't know yet. I can give you some patterns that I see, from my research and with clients and other CEOs that I work with, but the jury's still out because reading has definitely gone down. We have more access now to audio learning via podcasts like this and interviews and YouTube. Also, the attention span creates an issue where focus is now a problem. I have a chapter in the book about the power of focus, and it goes back to our friend Ben Gay III. One of my favorite books by him, and I give him all full credit, is The Closers Part 2, that book. It's one of my favorite sales book. It's like yours, I'm sure, marked up in yellow notes. I go through it each year. But Ben has a chapter about fly the plane, son. Just fly the plane. And you might see me comment sometimes. I've done it on your post. Fly the plane, son. That's an inside joke between Ben and I. I'm like, that's all focus. And I used it last week on the book tour when we kicked off the Don't Quit, Do It book tour in Arizona, where I said that story. That I hope when that pilot's landing, he or she or the team is not doing this on their phone. Takeoff and landing are the two most essential and conversely dangerous parts of a flight. So I don't want them watching a TikTok cat video landing at Phoenix Sky Harbor. I hope they're flying the plane no matter what. And it's a great analogy of modern times that technology give us. The phone is that I'm holding up. If you're hearing this only, it gives us access, but it also is an incredibly addictive device. And to manage social media is difficult. And I do my best with my team to delegate it. I do manage it still to a degree because I want to have some interaction and make sure that we're consistent with the branding, et cetera. And I like to have fun with it too, Randy. I'm classic to send my own kids YouTube and AI generated TikTok cat fight videos or cats doing ninja stuff. So that's my guilty pleasure. But back to the core of the business. A lot of people don't like video because they're worried about what are people going to think. I'm not good on video. My advice is this: do your first video, do your fifth video. It gets easier. In our mind, the resistance, as Stephen Pressfield, the great writer, says, is doubt. His term. It will tell you, no, not the right lighting, not the right content. I don't know. I don't look good on video. I don't have the right script. It's blah blah blah. And we wait 3 months to do a video. We wait 6 months. And once we get going, here's the good news: it gets faster, gets easier, get momentum. You move through the fear. And I still get nervous even when I go on stage or do interviews sometimes because there's adrenaline there. I want to make sure that whoever's listening, that I'm giving the best value that I can of my wisdom. Or if I don't know, I say I'm not sure, like I just did. But people just need to get in the game. Take the step, take the class, get on TikTok, open an account, watch some videos. And sorry, I'm going to try to post a static video with some music. You don't have to do it all one day. My first podcast was probably atrocious years and years ago. Matter of fact, I was part of a company that owned a podcasting company in Muskegon, Michigan as a partner. Back in 2007, we were doing vidcasts with the old static microphones and the stick. And this was like ancient history at the beginning of it. We call them vidcasts. Little did I know, looking ahead, this is now becoming the standard way we all communicate on planet Earth in the Western, particularly democracies and English speaking, podcasting. Right. So we were at the front edge 19 years ago, the company I was a partner in, and I didn't know what take off, but here's the thing. It's gotten easier. It's gotten more portable. It's gotten more easier where people can edit it. You can hire people now all over the place to edit your videos, do snippets, do reels. You don't have to do it all. So my whole point is back to the question about engagement. You never know who's going to see it. Right. And most people watch on any social media and don't comment because they'd rather watch than do creation. So I hope there's some wisdom in there for your audience that there's nothing wrong with, being a little bit afraid, but get someone on your team or you to start getting into it. And I always say get into one social media first and get pretty active and consistent, then maybe add a second. If you're doing 10 social media right away, you're going to do 10 of them kind of half-assed. Right. If you do one or two of them, you have a better chance of doing them pretty well over time. Then you can integrate in another channel. So that's my 35,000 foot look at social media.
No, and it's a great view, and I love your take on that because it's funny. I'm kind of laughing to myself. I'm sure Wes is in the background. If he's not flipping buttons or whatever he does back in there, I don't know what he does. A little scary at times, but I remember when we first decided to start this Building Wins 4.5 years ago. I'd done some guesting, but I decided, long story short, how I got to it. But the date was set, and it's like 3 weeks out. And I remember saying to Wes, why don't we, I know you got a lot of peripherals to do. You got a lot of stuff to do. Yep. Well, let's push this into February to give you some time. And Wes was smart enough to see through my BS. It was just because Randy's scared. Randy wants to put it off for 2 weeks, and he didn't allow it. He said, nope, it's already booked. We're already scheduled. We're doing it. And the one thing that I found is two things that you just said. The first is always the worst. It's a 1,000% better, even number two, because you got through. And you know what? I didn't die over this thing. Nothing really bad happened. And the other thing that I am curious because I'm just curious. 99% of the time, I never watch back anything I do like this. I see what we're doing right now. I will not watch this ever. Do you
You're not alone.
watch?
You're not alone.
I wonder if that's good, bad, or indifferent. And I'll tell you the reason why, and then I'd love your take on it for people that are listening that want to get involved in doing virtual of any type. That could be sending videos to their customers or whatever. Is I'm going to start second guessing. I'm going to hate what I did in my hand. Well, I'm going to hate the way I look. I'm going to hate all the stuff. And the more I watch, the more I'm going to start judge myself, and then I'm going to try to be an actor, which I'm not. And try to fix all these things, which I can't, as opposed to just being Randy talking to Tony, right? Which is what everybody wants anyway.
Well, I've never thought of it that way. I don't watch all the post podcasts I do either because of time, and we're moving and you're recording. And like on a book tour right now, amongst touring, I'm doing so many of them, and I'm always grateful. I don't mail any interview in. I don't just be like, oh, I got to do another interview, because I don't know what questions are going to come. More importantly, who might see this when it releases, or with time shifting a month or 3 years down the line. Because once it's online, it's up there. It's in the great AI cloud. It's permanent. So to me, I'm saying, you know what? You're moving forward. And what's happened is I catch more reels now because people chop the interviews up into highlights. So I might see a couple reels, or we might share a few reels or highlights. But also the goal is if someone watches a full podcast, then they have a real serious interest in me usually. Okay. But it's typical they get interrupted. They might come back to it. I've done a TEDx talk before a couple years ago, and you can watch how people cut in and out of that video. Some make it 3, some might make 15, some might make the full 17. But I never get upset. They're going to stop everything and watch my TEDx talk or watch a podcast. That would be very arrogant of me, knowing the challenge of attention, which has been my platform for 21 plus years now, full time. So we have to keep adjusting. It's gotten easier. You've got so many resources to do it. And it's really up to someone to say, hey, this is one component of my marketing. I want to do a little bit of an offshoot you said about video. One of my favorite techniques that I use is with people to get them to engage is send a video message to them. Or when I get referrals, which I teach all over the world as well, is I'll send a picture of the person they referred me to them right in real time as a text. Hey, guess who I'm with? And they get right back to me. I'm like, thank you so much for the introduction. Watch what I'm saying. This is key on the language for everybody listening. I thank them for the introduction, not the referral. I send the photo because now the client is like, woohoo, or prospective client. Oh my gosh. And the referral partner is like, this is really cool. This is unique. And then I'll post the picture up with permission. Many times, like, yeah, go ahead and share it. Hey, I was with this person. I tag them in again. So there's multiple touches with a visual photo. If I can do a little video, sometimes I do a video as well. That is putting you way to the front of the line of attention, and it gets immediate response. And not many people do it consistently, Randy.
Right.
And I have a fun time with it because it's kind of like, where's Waldo? We just got a picture posted 3 days ago from a client of mine, Scott Comey. He's in Paris. I didn't know he did this. And he's in front of the Eiffel Tower, goes, and he puts a review, like a real quick plug, great book, read it over, here in Paris. Congratulations, Tony. And he's in front of the Eiffel Tower. Now, you don't think I was stunned and happy and like, oh my God, yes? Oh yeah. Then I took it and reposted it and tagged him all over Facebook. Just before you guys got in the studio with me, the pre-interview, I was posting on Instagram, spotted over the pond. We call it out in the wild. So you're an author too. When someone posts your book out in the wild, we call it spotted in the wild, out in the population. But I said, hey, we made it to Paris. And that'll get people going, what is going on? And it's, he set that up. No, I didn't ask him to do it. He loved the book and he brought it overseas on his trip and posted the picture and tagged me.
Nice.
So it's fun to see this when people are having fun. Obviously, they promote your stuff. You're tickled pink. It's a self-interest that we all have, but you just don't know the power of visual. And for 20 years, I've been teaching, start using video, guys. Start using video. There used to be the flip cameras. And you had to buy a separate camera. You had to plug it in and try to figure out how to edit it. Now your phone and your teenager, your grandkid can do the video edit for you and put it up in 3 minutes. It's that easy. So I look at it and say, what are things online and offline, which I can't wait to dive in your bucket. I just got it. The online and offline, when you fuse them, like my hands, I'm making an integration here. You are very powerful as a marketer. And don't be fooled. Everyone listening, no matter what level you are in this industry, or you're listening from my audience, Everyone is in marketing and sales, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
The preacher, the lawyer, the CPA, the candlestick maker, they all have to believe, they have to put a message out, and they have to have conviction. You don't do those three, yeah, you can get by, but you've got to be able to sell it. And then you got to be able to get the message out, which is marketing. So I've long since gotten over the hang up, like you said in the beginning, about sales. Sales is one of the highest paid professions in the world. Not many people can do it real well. It's usually 80-20 Pareto. 20% of the salespeople are making 80% of the deals because they have the right mindset. They know how to market. They know how to ask for referrals and introductions. They do other things other salespeople won't do. And every day they get no, they don't quit, and they still do it. I know that's a shameless plug. The book is Don't Quit, Do It. But that's sales, man.
It is.
Guys, I get all kinds of no's every day, emails, messages. And I'm like, okay, I don't have time to fret to the next call, to the next appointment. We've got to keep moving. Doesn't mean I burn the bridge. We're like, all right, if they had an interest, it wasn't the right time. We put them in our follow-up systems.
Exactly.
It's so I threw a lot down there, but I want someone to go, whoa, what's going on here? That's for me. Or you know what? That whole exchange right here, that's really valuable.
It is. It's incredibly valuable, and it made me think as we're, as you was talking, Tony. I made this comment a week or so ago when I was giving a talk in Wisconsin for a group that if you go back, roll the clock back 15 years, 20 years, I don't know what the number is now, and if you didn't have a website, you didn't exist.
Correct.
That's still important, and it still is true. But my take is if you can't be found on social media today, for a large percentage of people, my age, your age, 20-year-olds, you just don't exist. Yep. And it levels the playing field between somebody that might have 40 years of experience, but they don't tell anybody they have 40 years of experience. They don't tell anybody they're even existing, versus the new kid at 23 that's pretty good, but only got 3 years of experience. Yep. But he's doing testimonials, and he's letting people say, oh my God, I can't believe how glad I had Billy Bob come build my building for me, whatever. He did not only did he level the playing field, he's probably elevated himself ahead of the guy that may be the better choice, but you didn't bother to tell him. And that leads me back to the old build a better mousetrap and they'll buy a thing, right? That don't work anymore. If you don't tell them you got the better mousetrap, somebody that's got a way less quality mousetrap is going to still sell the mousetrap just because they said, hey, Tony, I have a mousetrap and it's really cool and it makes the cheese look really tasty. Would you buy my mousetrap, right?
Well, let me add to it. You're right on. There's two things I've been teaching a long time. What is your digital footprint? Okay, there's the first thing. When I go, most people research online before they ever interact with you. If they like what they're seeing or they research, that's the footprint. Also, how Googleicious are you? Before AI became really big the last few years, the Google ranking and search and algorithm was huge. And I would say for at least 15 years, I'm waiting for Google to send me a check because I've been pitching. What is your digital footprint, particularly how Googleicious are you? When I look you up, are you there? I go, where are you? Or who are you? And then also now you have the fact that, are you relevant online or are you a relic? Again, I've been teaching this live for years and years and years. It's becoming more important now with the rapid ascension of the last 24 months of AI. Now the algorithm's moving again. Google does not have as much of just the staying power as it used to be as the only guy in the block. Now you've got AI integration going on with all those different companies fighting to get you into their version of Googleicious. So don't wait. Hire someone, and if you have to, hire your grandkid on. Hire the 25-year-old fresh out of university that has their own social media agency. Have them guide you into the water because you're losing a ton of opportunity because people don't know you exist. And you might find one social media gets kind of boring or gets saturated. And you say, you know what, we got to maybe look to another social media. We have a couple of lead doors of Google and algorithm and AI working on our behalf. So you're spot on. And again, I've been on social media since it started, so I have a head start. But there's no way you can get ahead in a year or two by posting consistently. You can watch a class. There's no more excuses, Randy. There really isn't. There's plenty of resources. You just got to make it a priority, a focus, put in action, and stay with it.
Exactly. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, there's just a lot there. But you chunk it down one action step at a time. You get momentum, and you watch the results start to come in.
Hey friends, it's Randy here, the owner of Source One Marketing. I bought from Randy.com, and I got to tell you, we are proud to sponsor the Building Wins Live podcast and vlogcast. We have 4+ decades in this beautiful industry of supplying materials, supplying services, supplying marketing assistance, and we just are proud to sponsor Building Wins Live and some great guests that we have every single week, many of them from our beloved industry and many of them from outside the industry that still bring some incredible content. So make sure to check us out at ibuyfromrandy.com and let us know what you think about this show. For now, thanks for checking this out. Let's get back to the show. Well, and you talk about easy. You know, we both held up our phone here, right? You don't need a headset and a mic. You don't need lights. You don't need a Wes producing and directing. I mean, to start, literally grab the phone. And I remember when 5-6 years ago, and you've been doing it way longer than I, but I remember I would do that, and I love when you talked about, I would send out videos to a customer. I would send out videos, or I'd use, God, who did I use? Boom, or BombBomb to send out with attached, in your email. And so I'd do like a, here's a quote. And hey, Tony, I'm sending this quote right now. It's attached in a PDF. Line number 14 and 27 are the 3 products that we talked about that you're the most interested. I went ahead and stuck some other things in here that I think we should talk about at some point. I'm going to send this to you now. Look it over. I'm going to call you tomorrow at 2:00 unless you let me know any different. Whatever. Yeah. Nobody was doing it.
Correct.
Instant credibility. Instant. Wow, what's this guy doing, man? This is kind of unique. And they took my call. Because and back to what we talked about with that I love this story. It's a real quick one. Yeah. Talk about video. I remember one time I went to get some dinner for the Dixie Chick and I'm sitting at the local pub and might have had a Dr. Pepper maybe, and I'm sitting there and I just thought about a buddy of mine in Montana. I hadn't talked to him in a while. Customer friend from Ohio. Originally moved out there, still buy some stuff from me, and I just set the camera up. I did nothing, no voice. I just did. So I love you. And he's a guy, he's a buddy, he's a friend, a brother. And I said, no music, no voice, 8 seconds, sent it. He literally called in like 20 seconds later. Oh, yeah. And said, dude, I've never got something like that. And he says, I was having a shit day. Yep. Just thank you. And my only point of all that is how many times a day, a month, a year could we do little things like that, that makes people's day, makes them remember us and be memorable in a pretty packed, whatever industry you're in, it's still pretty packed, right? There's a lot of people peddling stuff. I mean, everything that I sell in my world, I could give you all the dog and pony as good as anybody and better than most probably of why my goofy little widget's better than everybody else's goofy little widget, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I have a goofy widget and 12 other people have a goofy widget and they all kind of do the same thing at the end of the day. So you got to have something other than just this widget that you're selling, right? Well, the adage to your point is a picture is worth what? 1,000 words. 1,000 words. Video is worth 1,000,000. Exactly. 1,000,000. I mean, the short little videos, I send them to some promos for our annual events. We host a couple of events in Arizona and Michigan. I'll sometimes go on a horseback. Quit horsing around and get to boot camp. I'll shoot videos down by the beach, and you're at the location. People are like, it's kind of goofy, but it really stands out. And also a little advanced trick. When you go Facebook Live, Facebook loves it. It throttles because video has more engagement. They boost it on their algorithm, and it gets more movement because it's video centric. And not a lot of people do Facebook Live a lot. Randy, you did a reveal, I think, last week when you got the book down in Naples. You're like, let's do the package. And you opened it. And it was like music. And I was laughing, going, wow, this is quite the introduction to like the book drop. And I thought, man, it got my attention. It was fun. You were having a good time. And that stands out and gets mind capture. You do that with other books. I'm like, who's he going to do next? Well, exactly. And it's on top of it all, it's just fun. It's fun to do, and if you enjoy doing it, that shows. Because so with all this, because I love this subject. So Tony, scripted, unscripted, sometimes yes, sometimes no. What's your thoughts on a guy that's going or a gal that's going? You know what? I think Tony's 100% right here. I need to do more of this stuff. Do you just go do what you do, or do you script it? Do you partially script it? What's the Tony rule?
The main thing is there is typically a formula, or what you would consider a script. Sometimes I'll shoot something on the fly. I'm like, I need to get this out. Hey, real quick, I didn't script this. I want to say this right now. I've done a few of those on Facebook Live. That's typically because I don't want to lose the thought, and I'm good on video as far as I've done it a lot.
Right.
There's many times we script it, so there's a formula there where who we're trying to definitely reach. Right. They go, why should I pay attention, especially if I just clicked on for a second or two? Who is this guy? What's in it for me? A formula that I use for a lot of my clients is this. It's 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, why. It's as old as the day. Yep. The who, what, when, where, and why is a formula you can use for press releases, a video script, a presentation where you've maybe got 5 minutes to pitch somebody or board of directors, and you make the 5 W's about them. As I point at the screen away from me, it's got to all be about them, because they don't care at first. They're like, I got split second. It better be all about me. And the better you can get in their head and capture and hold the time, and then you can establish credibility, the higher chance they may look at you. They may come back to you. They may put you as a save file. And then when they come back and make a decision, you might be one because they already researched you and it got their attention. So there is no exact blueprint, but the key thing is you got to get it out there.
Yes.
You want to really try to do the best as you hone in your messaging and make it for your ideal prospect. I don't like the word avatar. It sounds like a damn movie. Who is your highest, best prospect that says, that's exactly who I'm looking for? I need that product or service. And as you get more and more into it, you want to refine and refine. Maybe you have 2 or 3 niches or vertical markets where you have videos that are going specifically to those 2 or 3 vertical markets. Hey, fellow Remax agent. Hey, fellow banking community association. We work in several verticals that we customize the videos and the memes and the videos, particularly social media, to their name of their association. Hey, here's what one banker said to me at a conference last year. And if you send it to another banking executive, they go, that's me. Can you do the same thing for me? One farmer talks to the farmer next door. One banker talks to a banker. One lawyer talks to the lawyer at the lawyer meeting. So the more refined you can get with the video, the social media, who you want to lock in, there's a higher chance it'll get momentum over time.
Love that. I love that. The who, why, what, where, and when. That's like you said, is as old as grass and dirt, right? But we lose it. I've been doing it. I did a series of shorts this morning with my marketing girl that works for me this morning. 1 to 2 minute shorts, just to have them in the queue for the next 3 weeks to drop. But all these were like under 2 minutes, right? And I use for those, I had up on my screen, and I just kept it very simple too. And I like that the 5 W's, but I just did I figured out and scripted, if you will, very brief, what's my hook, what's my caption or content, and what's my CTA, right? And it just so I had them there, and I put them up on the screen so I could glance over and if I lost my thought, but I don't read script. I'm terrible at it because I'm not a trained actor in that. If I was going to read a script, you'd be sitting here going, shit.
Randy, here's a lot of my script when I do it. It's 3 points I want to share. And I might glance or I hold up there's point 1, point 2, or I'll have it above me.
Yeah.
No, they know that, I don't have the best recall. Sometimes I'll shoot a video spontaneous. I'm like, here's a couple observations, and it just flows.
Yes.
That's after years and years of doing video and
exactly.
And feeling comfortable just to go, here we go.
Yep. You know what? And one thing you hit on, and I just love that what you said, because I love to do that, is I'll bet you when I go to a 3-4 day trade show, I'll shoot stupid amounts of video there on the floor, but just people. I love to go to customers' places. They love it because nobody else does it again. I love to do a quick video. Hey, I'm here at I'll throw out a name of a guy that's I'm at Stillwater Metals in Kenton, Ohio. My buddy Sam, I've known for years. Sam, what are we doing? And we'll do a quick minute and a half, 2 minute back and forth, high five, boom, that's it. And it promotes Sam. It also promotes me. It promotes the fact that this Randy guy, I kind of know who he is, but it's like he's doing some stuff that's unique, it's different, and promoting his customers, promoting his product, promoting the brand, right? And I think that's so important to do.
Yeah, let me add to it. I've watched your videos, and we're all busy. I've seen you drive into a trade show. I'm like, hey, road warrior, like, I'm going to the trade show. Get down. I'm like, yep, he's in travel. Get to this show, or have fun, Randy. Safe travels. I feel like I'm on the road with you. And then when they meet you many times, they're a little starstruck because like, oh, I've seen you on video. And it's not like, give me an autograph, but
Right.
they think they know you because they've been watching you from a distance, or they actively watch you now. And when you show up live, they're like, oh, he's a real person. So there's so many benefits. I know we hit a lot of the video and social media. And again, I go back to a lot of the mindset. The book has 50 lessons from the pages and stages of life as a professional paid speaker and as a writer for 21 years. And it's got a lot of the stuff that I went through that was dark. And how did I overcome it? Not woe is Tony, but I'm like, if you're going to put a memoir out, you need to put the dirt in there of how you overcame that, especially when people think that, oh, you're a motivational speaker, you've always got it figured out. Oh, I've had sometimes months and years where I've been in the tank in my head. I've had a divorce go on, a bankruptcy, a gambling addiction for many years, 8 years clean now. And I'm saying, don't quit and do it. It's going to happen. And here's the gift. The book to me that we got done, it's also a reminder that, hey, I read through this and go, wow, I needed to have personal motivation help me when I was in my lowest point. I had to test what I was teaching or what my mentors taught me when I felt like months and years were never going to stop being somewhat stuck. When you're in a divorce, I've been married a couple of times. It's like a Bad Country album, but you can get through. You know, I'm still trying to figure that whole thing out, and God willing, I'll get there. But does it mean that because people see you successful online, or that you're an author, you're a podcaster, that you got it all figured out? They really want to know. Everyone's been saying, be authentic, be authentic. This book brings it. And I have many longtime clients that are emailing, we didn't know this. Well, it's a comfort level. There's also other people involved. I feel safe to share the stories, but there's stories in there from being stalked to divorce, to having a marriage blow up over gambling, to now on the other side, a TEDx talk on gambling, how it saved my life, or how we've done events now. The people I've met that I never thought, like Forrest Gump, a guy from Michigan and the GM family, would meet rock stars, celebrities, head coaches, share the stage with these people, because I worked my tail off to get on these stages. And you got to be good, but you also got to have a break or two. And you got to be a really good marketer. And to do that, you got to believe when no one else believes, sometimes for years in you.
Yes.
You got to keep hitting the punching bag. You got to keep getting in the batting cage and getting the repetitions in. A 300 hitter in baseball fails 7 times out of 10, Randy.
Exactly.
3 times they get it, they make millions of dollars if they can do it consistently.
Yes.
So it's basics, but more CEOs have told me the last 6 months, we need to get back to basics. And Randy, I love your work because you do blocking and tackling, online, offline. You're doing it. And now that you're in your 70s, congratulations.
Oh, easy now. Just barely.
Just barely. You're 69 and holding someday. Okay? Here's what's really cool. I look at you and go, he's out there doing TikTok video. I'm not jealous. I'm like, how cool is this? He's not letting the media or the social media define, I'm too old for that. He's out there kicking a lot of the youngsters' butts by doing it. I'm like, this has got me inspired. I'm 53. I'm Gen X. Like, step it up, Tony. It's like, if Randy's doing it in a good way, why not try it? And you know what? You're doing it. And for every one critic, there's 50 fans, mainly quiet, going, go, Randy, go. Because I wish they were doing it.
Right. Everybody that's a critic, I've figured out, I don't, it's hard to say I don't care, but I don't care particularly. And secondarily, I look at that as that's your problem, that's a you problem, not a me problem. You criticize away, but you're also the one that has never done anything that we're talking about doing. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Everybody run their own gig, right? But I appreciate that it's good to know that some people appreciate some of the stuff you do. I think that the book here, I want to show it again because, man, I want to wind down with you because you got a lot going on. But I'll tell you what, I've read 2-3 chapters. I'm going to actually tonight. I have to pencil in time to do some of these things. I got so much stuff going on right now but I'm going to be doing some reading tonight. I couldn't read last night because I could have. I made a choice, so I shouldn't say couldn't. I made a choice that I was going to watch and focus on my, shall I say, #1 Michigan Wolverines play basketball against Purdue last night.
There you go.
So I wasn't going to. I'm sorry you lost to them. Sorry, my bad. But I had to watch Michigan last night.
It happens, man.
But the worst case is I would have never paid attention to your book because I would have been reading it going, and so. But tonight is a reading night again. And Tony, I appreciate all you do. You've been very kind with your words, and I just want to tell you that I appreciate you coming on. I know you got a lot going on, and I follow all your work as well, and you're an amazing individual doing some great stuff out there. And don't stop, man, as you want, or don't say that, don't quit, right? Don't
Amen,
quit.
brother.
Keep doing it, man.
Thank you for the invite, and I'll leave you with this. I don't know how much time we have, but here's the deal. The critics, there's a whole chapter in the book on critics. You're going to count on it. When you're making significant impact of any kind, critics are going to be mainly quiet, but they're also going to come at you. And they also can serve as fuel, not out of revenge, but fuel to make the extra call, to shoot the video, to ask for the referral, because the world's always had critics. And here's the danger, which I write a lot about, is sometimes it's the closest people to you that don't want to see you grow. They want to kind of hold you back because they don't want you to get hurt. And you've got to usually override those closest that don't like your growth. And they'll tell you, or they'll be passive aggressive, because that's the deal. You've got to keep pushing.
Keep pushing. Tony, last thing. How do people get your book?
Thank you, sir. Easy. You go to mindcapturegroup.com. Again, mindcapturegroup.com. Upper top right, there's a tab, new book.
That's it. Simple as that. And the other 10 or 12 books that you've written will be on there as well, I assume, so they can get one or all. Or, but seriously, this is a good book. It's an excellent book. I can tell right now with reading through it, I appreciate it, and I'm excited to I'll be doing like I read you. You mentioned Ben's book. I've got both 2 or 3 of his books back behind me right here on with a bunch of other books, and his is all marked up and folded pages and but I'll tell you one last cool thing I got from Ben once. Early on, when I met him several years ago, was talking about, and we know his, was his relationship with Zig Ziglar, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'd mentioned one time, "See You at the Top" was still my all-time favorite Zig book, right?
Great book,
great book. And I told him, I said, over the years, I don't know where mine is. I had one. I should probably buy one again. And we was chatting, and that was it. No, nothing. All of a sudden, he sent me, says, "What's your address?" And I, we all send each other stuff, right?
Right.
I'll give you my address. I think he's going to send me a pen or something. I don't know. And all of a sudden, this package shows up. And it's from Ben. And I look at it and I go, I've already got his books. I've got every one of his books. He sent them to me signed. I opened it up, and he sent me not only a copy of See You at the Top, his copy that he had read for years with his notes in folded over pages and stuff that Ben wrote or read. I mean, I got it right back here. I mean, you want to talk about just cool.
I'm rarely speechless, but that's an heirloom.
It is. Oh, I know. I look at that and I realize, because I'm a big fan of Ben, not only as a fan of him, but just he's become a great friend and mentor, even though he doesn't try to be, but he just is, because he just is. But to me, that's just cool. I mean, that's just cool. And I looked at that and I told my younger son, who's in sales, he's I think he's about 107 now, because I'm old, but he's been around forever. Incredible in-home sales closer, sales manager. But anyways, big follower of Ben's. Big follower of Zig's, and I says, "You're not going to believe." And I told him that quick story. He goes, "Shut up! You got to be kidding me! Are you kidding me?" He said, "Just the fact that Ben sent it is cool."
Yeah.
But it'd been cool if he just went and bought a book, or he had 10 extra laying in his closet, right? And just sent me a new copy. That's cool in itself. But yeah, it's really cool. So, anyways, big stuff. So, Tony, any parting words, my friend, or I'm going to let you get out of here because you got great things to go do today, I'm sure.
Well, thank you again for the interview. I know it was kind of last minute, but you know what? Opportunity doesn't always knock on schedule. You take it. And I've been loving your work.
Thank you.
An SAQ that I want people to think about is, why do you do what you do every day? I wish I got that question from people. And I'll tell you why I do what I do every day. I love humans. I've given up by choice a lot of time away from my family. If I had relationships that I gave up a lot of time, I've had great partners that believe, because they know I love to teach. And it's not always easy some days, like we talked about in the green room. You miss a lot of things, but you also gain a lot. Yes. And if the gain is more joyful, I will still take to the airplane. I'll still jump on a call like this last minute, no matter what's going on, because I don't know, with my love of teaching, who it's going to impact. Doesn't mean I'm going to save the world. But revolutions of positivity or disruption start with one person talking to another person and believing and sharing and sharing. So, and I'm a fan of the show too. So,
well, thank you.
Why are you doing what you're doing? And you might find that it gets you motivation as well to keep doing it.
There you go. Well said. All right, brother. Appreciate you, my man. Buy the book. Buy the book.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, folks, really, seriously, I buy the book. It's really that good. And a great guy. Follow Tony. You just got to follow him because I get inspired every day when I see his posts. I see his work, and it's not just a mutual admiration society here. A quality guy, first class. He influences me every day with what he does in his work, and he doesn't even try. So just because he's out doing what he does. So remember, we talk about this all the time. But I'm just out here doing it, and if you don't do anything else, love what you do and do what you love, because that's what we're doing right here. And while you're at it, I don't know, go make today your best day ever. Until tomorrow. Cheers, my friends.